I have made some bad mistakes in my time, but that's the breaks, and I'll bet I've had way more fun than you.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to another edition of Kip Does Stuff. Today we're going to work on another decorative sword. I've got this one years ago at a pawn shop, and it's got a curved blade. It's got a decent looking scabbard with a ugly piece of gold on the end of it. It's not real gold, of course. But mainly I want to upgrade the blade itself and the handle. The handle itself is this ugly dragon. Big ugly dragon head. It's plastic. We got the blade guard here, and it just wobbles around like anybody's business. Got this nice little decorative piece here I'd like to keep. And the blade itself isn't true to the handle. Got some sort of bend in it. So we'll take off the handle, try to fix this blade guard, see if we can salvage this piece here, and throw the rest away and build a whole new handle. So let's get started. Okay, I thought I'd give you a better look at what we're dealing with here. So here's this ugly looking dragon's head. It's plastic and it's really garbage. Got a little plastic fake jewel here. And you see the blade guard. Rolls around pretty good. I'm trying to figure out how to get the handle off, so I popped one of these jewels off, and there's actually a pin there, but I don't feel like drilling that out. So what I'm going to do is just smash this thing with a hammer and break it. Okay, there you can see a seam right there. It should be easy to break. And then I'll just cut the pin off later. Let's get to work. Okay, let's come over to the bench here. Put our safety glass on. See if we can get this to split. Well, we had the decorative piece break. We can't get this handle to break. So let's pull out the big guns. Assault. Oh! And I think we just got lucky. The pin just fell out. Okay, now that the handle is off, we can see that there's a pretty bad bend right here where the tang goes into the blade. So we'll just see if we can bend that out by hand. That looks pretty good. So next, let's move on to making a handle for this. Okay, so the blade for this one isn't going to be anything fancy. I'm just going to use a piece of pine or fir. Okay, I guess we should start on the radial arm saw and cut this to length. Start a, let's see, about 9 inches. Okay, now I'm over the table saw. I'm going to get this ugly rounded edge off of here. Okay, I want a big piece of wood to work with. I want a lot of extra, so if I have to true it up later, I can. So I'm going to cut it 2 inches by 1.5. Now we'll take our handle blank and just cut it straight down the center. Okay, you can just see on here, I've got the blade marked out, or the tang marked out on the template here. And now I'll use my router table, set it about 1/8 inch to cut the groove for the tang. I've also got a stop block here set so that the part will stop against this so I don't end up cutting too deep into the wood. And I'll adjust the fence by hand and move it over and from this line to this line. Okay, there's a slot I cut, and we'll try to fit the tang in there. And it looks like it's going to fit just perfect. So let's get the rest of the handle shaped. Okay, I moved on to the next step and I shimmed out this blade guard to keep it from moving. Now I can lay it in a handle and drill out that hole for the handle and then make a matching hole in this piece. So let's get that started. Before I drill the two halves out, I'm going to rip them to their final width, but just slightly fat of that, so I can do a little sanding later. Okay, I clamped the pieces together. This is the inside, and this is the inside here. I've got them stacked on top of one another in opposite order. I already did the drilling operation, but the camera screwed up so you didn't see it. But there it is. Okay, normally this is the point where I pin these on, but I want to do a lot of finishing work on this handle before I attach it to the tang for good. So I'm going to actually glue this together, then round over the edges and do the final cuts, and then pin the handle to the tang all in one step. So let's get our glue. Okay. Put one clamp on. Okay, all the edges feel good, nice and square. I'll clean up all the squeeze out and we'll let it set to dry. Okay, now that the glue is dry on our blank, I need to trim off one edge to make it the center of this hole. So I got the blade set, got the height set a little high, and that should do it. Let's trim it up. Okay, now we've got the hole centered this way. Now we need to center it this direction. We're a little long on this side, so I've lowered the blade and reset my fence. We'll trim that off. Okay, now that we've got it nice and centered, let's dress up these long edges and the end here. Okay, I've done a little sanding off camera because sanding is really boring. I've got the sword set up here. I've got the point into a block of wood against one of my vices on this end. And I've got it raised on this end. And now I'll just slip this over. It's going to be very tight, so I'll tap it in with a rubber mallet. Okay, I had to finish it up by actually putting it on the floor. Actually got the block of wood nice and tight in the end here, the blade. Who says these things won't cut? Okay, now I want to put the pin in. I'm using the pin from the original handle. I actually drilled the hole slightly behind the hole in the tang, so that would pull the handle forward. So let's see how well this goes in there. Okay, I had a little trouble getting the pin in there. It was actually too small for the hole. It was a little too bent off-centered, so I cut a smaller pin out of a nail and used some 2-part epoxy. Drove it all together, and now we're just waiting for everything to dry so I can fill it in with some wood filler and give it a final sanding. Okay, so I've pretty much got the blade finished, or the handle finished. It's a little oversized at this point, so I want to do a couple things with it. I'm thinking about cutting a curve on the top and then finger grips on the bottom. But at least this ugly dragon head is gone. I also think I might hire my son-in-law to do some burning on it and make something neat. I might actually have him burn a dragon on the handle itself. All in all, I think it turned out okay. Not my favorite decorative sword, but much better than this ugly plastic dragon head. Thanks for watching.